Hey guys, Brad here with Custom Offsets. Got another episode of Lifts and Levels. This is going to be a zone 4.5-inch kit. This particular one's going to be going on a 2012 Chevy Silverado 1500. All right guys, so we got the kit laid out on the bench here. We're just going to run through all the parts here and have you take a look at everything. First things first, remember this is a 4.5-inch kit. And with that being said, you'll see now I like to measure how much the lower control arms are dropped here, and it's about 4.5 inches. These are the lower control arm drop brackets. So we got the lower control arm drop cross members. We got our optional splash guard here. This is the differential skid plate that's included. Another thing right here, this is our front differential drop brackets, and you'll see that these measure about 4.5 inches as well. So the diff's gonna get dropped down 4.5 inches there. Let's see, and then on this particular kit, we got the brand new lift struts here, so we're not going to use any kind of a lift spacer or a strut spacer up front. It's going to have a complete replacement strut, which is a nice option. It's good if, usually these trucks have worn out struts and everything like that at this point, and it's also more visually appealing as well to have a whole replacement strut. A lot of people like that. Got the new lift knuckles as well. These are forged units here. And then let's see what else. I'm trying to round out the front components here. We got our sway bar drops. I'm not sure what these measure actually. These measure about 3 inches, the sway bars drop. I'm not sure that necessarily equates to the lift height. Got our CV axle spacers. These of course are going to be because the front track width on these kits is increased about 1 5/8 about per side. And they measure about 1 5/8. So you need these spacers here so the CV axles aren't overextended. They also have this another little brace which will tie in between the lower cross members here, just something to brace everything together. Nice little feature. For the rear of the truck, it comes standard with these blocks, and the blocks in the rear measure 4 inches. Remember, you're going to be removing the factory block. And then this is an optional add-a-leaf kit, which this customer decided to get. These are going to give you an additional about 1.5 inches of lift in the rear. This is a good option if you're planning on having this thing loaded down all the time, with a trailer, stuff in the bed, and you want just that extra bit of boost in the rear. Otherwise, when you have it unloaded, it is going to sit quite tail high with the add-a-leafs on there. But once again, that's really an option for people who want to have the truck loaded down most of the time. They'll go with the add-a-leafs. This is an option. And then another option as well is going to be the Fox 2.0 shocks for the rear. Remember, we got the struts up front and then shocks in the rear. These are the Performance 2.0 series. These are the same ones that you get in a BDS kit. You can see the BDS sticker here. That's kind of an exclusive offer that we provide because the original Fox Adventure Series shocks, which Zone had, have now been pretty much discontinued. So we now offer the same shocks from the BDS kit on the Zone kit. And I think that's about it. Oh, I also forgot to mention you get new U-bolts for the rear blocks, and then we got a bunch of new hardware and stuff like that in the bags. I'm not going to really run through that, but that's about it for the Zone's 4.5 kit. We're going to go get it installed now, and then we'll check back in later. All right guys, we got the Zone kit installed on the truck here, and we're just going to run through some of the parts once they've been installed. First things first, obviously you see our brand new knuckle here. And then as well as the new lift strut. Once again, there's no strut spacer. You can see you just have a complete strut replacement. That is going to provide the lift on this particular kit. Some other components, we got the sway bar drop brackets. You can see the sway bar, it's at a nice parallel angle to the ground here. Lower control arm drop cross members, as we mentioned, they're going to come down about 4.5 inches, which is also going to be the same as the differential drops brackets, which will be up in here, another 4.5-inch drop. And you can see that the angle here on the CV axles and any of the joints is quite moderate. There's nothing to worry about there, nothing extreme. Don't have to worry about binding or anything like that. We got the optional splash guard here as well. It's like a $65 option, I believe. You can run without it, it's not required. Skid plates for the differential once it's lowered down, a tie-in brace here between the cross members, which is a nice little piece, and then that's really about it up front. Moving to the back, nice and simple in the back. We got the blocks in the back here with our new U-bolts and the new hardware, everything there.
And as we mentioned before, this customer got the optional add leaf. You can see it here, it has the nice urethane slider pads in it as well. And then the Fox 2.0 shocks on the back. You do have to modify the brake brackets a little bit. I believe you just have to bend them up. As you can see here, and it provides plenty of slack for the brake lines. You also have to relocate some of the parking brake lines. That's gonna be the Zone 4.5 kit, and that's gonna be it. Peace.